Hi ladies and gents, it's me, Iain Myles here from Kamalifestyles.com, and I am back. I am back for good, and I'm back with yet another exciting Infield video for you today. Anyway, today I'm going to be showing you with some real life Infield footage where Mr. Kamalifestyles and I, we approached two really gorgeous British chicks. Now we actually cold approached these two girls right from the street, literally, and we get into a conversation with them, and then we get them attracted to us. And guys, we also get their numbers so that we can, meet up with them later that night. So guys, I do hope you like this footage. Look, I have a small problem here because when I approached the two girls initially, I was actually feeling really tired, and I was actually really sluggish. As you will see from the actual Infield footage, I didn't really want to approach them, and I didn't even really want to speak to them, but I ended up doing it anyway. So today's video is actually going to revolve around this very issue, around tiredness itself, and what this actually means when we're interacting with the opposite sex. Now look, I am only human just as you are, and I do get tired too. I mean, look, I work at least a 70-hour week, 7 days a week. So look, I know how it feels to be really tired from work, and I know how it feels to be really tired from that lack of sleep. Look, however, at the same time, I really do love to go out and I love to socialize, and there's nothing better in life than interacting with, say, a gorgeous woman. Now, in fact, I would go further to say that, look, I don't actually feel complete with myself. I don't feel balanced in life if I'm not socializing, and especially with girls. Now, there were various times in the past, many years ago, when actually I did feel too tired to go out. So I would end up staying inside with my pajamas on. So my tiredness actually prevented me from cold approaching girls. However, over time, I kind of came to that realization that this was just a petty excuse, and it was just due to that emotional part of my mind playing those tricks on me. So I learned how to deal with it, and over time, and now it actually doesn't affect me whatsoever. And I can go out with, say, 6 hours sleep, I can go out with even 4 hours sleep, and even with 2 hours sleep, it's absolutely fine. I mean, look, I might look like a train wreck, and I might even look like a walking zombie, The Walking Dead, but look, that is only temporary, as I will look to get a full night's sleep later on. So before we get going through, guys, I want to remind you once again not to forget to follow me on my various social media handles. That's none other than my Instagram and my Facebook pages, which you can find on the screen right down below. Now, I publish regular free content on these very pages, and you can also put down your questions and pose any comments that you have on there too, so we can all get into a healthy discussion. So anyway, I'd encourage you to check them out when you get the chance. Okay, so enough of that, and why don't we begin by watching the Infield footage where Emre and I, where we cold approached these two girls right from the street. So let's see how we got on, so stay tuned. You're English?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I live here.
They live here?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Today I'm like ridiculously tired.
Oh, are you going out?
Yeah.
My name is Reynard. How are you?
Hi. I'm Ian.
Ian and I are business partners.
How can you be so happy?
I don't know, I'm just...
You must have good endorphins because you must be working out a lot to be smiling.
Yeah, we're just happy.
I think the beach lifestyle.
Yeah.
We should go for a drink.
I know we should go for a drink.
We will go later.
Where are you gonna be?
There's like beach bars on the beach.
We're thinking of sitting in that beach bar, actually, having a few drinks,
Yeah.
having a chat with him, and if you guys want to join us, we can have a few drinks together.
Yeah, we might go like in 30 minutes or so.
Do you?
9:45.
Do you use WhatsApp, by the way?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Really
really
nice
like
there.
retarded. How do you spell your name?
Yeah.
Give me a call.
We'll text you.
Yeah, alright, yeah. I'll send you a message.
Yeah, it was nice to...
It's a pleasure to meet you, sweetheart. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I hope you enjoyed that. They were actually two top girls. So I suppose the bottom line here is don't let your tiredness, or don't let the negativity that actually arises from that tiredness, don't let it stop you from going out, and don't let it stop you from cold approaching the women that you don't know, and also from having those kind of extended conversations with those very women. I mean, when you look back at the footage, I was actually ridiculously tired in this interaction, even though I was incredibly incredibly attracted to the girl that I was talking to. I mean, I had literally just finished training a client who had signed up to our residential training program, and in fact, you know, we had a really incredibly late night together the night before. And so as you can see from my face when you watch back, I was, and from my actions, I just couldn't be bothered to interact with them at all. Now, I even tell the girl right at the very beginning that I'm really tired. Look, I actually like being honest about these things. And you know, it's funny because I didn't even think that she cared, as you know, she then goes on to ask me, just casually ask me if I'm going out later on. And look, I didn't quite get the logic of her asking me that, but you know, I found it quite amusing, and I suppose I really felt her positivity and her energy just grew onto me in like split seconds. And then I kind of thought to myself, hold on, why wouldn't I potentially want to see her later on that night, and why wouldn't I want to go out? And then I just told her that yeah, I would do it and I'd go out, why not? But look, it's funny because, you know, when you look back at the footage, I was actually scratching my face at the time, as you know, I just couldn't be asked to be there at that point. I think I just must be mad. But anyway, I pulled through and I continued with that entire interaction, and I didn't let my tiredness get to me at all. I must say though, and I can't stress the importance of staying fit and working out in order to help you to stay energized when you're out and when you're trying to meet women. Now guys, I mean, I love lifting weights and I love pumping those muscles, but I have to say that I find when I do cardiovascular exercises that they actually make me feel really good a few hours after I do them. Now, it doesn't even have to be anything so miraculous or, you know, so complicated. You can simply go for a quick intense run, or if you have more time, go for a much longer run. But I find that after I've raised my heart rate for, you know, a decent period of time, it does really boost my mood, and I really do feel that serotonin kind of, you know, which is the feel-good chemical. I feel it flowing through my body, which really helps me to engage with women. So I really would highly recommend that you try it too. Now, I would also recommend losing any excess body fat that you might have. I mean, look, I'm not saying that you need to become, you know, some sort of fitness model, and you don't need to obsess about your look, no, but you need to really be in fit and you need to be energetic in order to give you that maximum amount of opportunities when you're out. I mean, you are basically, when you think about it, you are basically like an athlete when you do this, and you really need to be functioning well. So have a think about measuring your body fat level, as it should be at a healthy amount, and anything over 20% is too much, guys. Now you need to take these steps and you need to really take these actions to just reduce it down. Now, for those of you who've been following Karma TV for, say, the past few years, you may have noticed that I have lost a lot of weight throughout those years. Now, to put this into numbers for you, I've actually lost, believe it or not, I've lost 17 kilograms, which is just under 40 pounds for the guys and girls, you know, who go by the imperial measurement system. I mean, look, it's not a ridiculous amount of weight, but it is still a lot. And you know, frankly, I didn't feel great when I weighed more back before. You know, I would always feel sluggish, and when I go into the evening, I would always feel tired as I was carrying around that extra weight on me. But now I feel like a superstar. I've got so much more energy than before, and I could go on, and I can go on forever, which is amazing. So aside from losing that excess body fat, I must say that eating well and focusing a lot on your nutrition is also equally important in maintaining your energy levels. Now guys, to be able to lose that 17 kilograms of weight, I mainly changed my diet, and that is actually all I did. I basically cut out everything and anything sugary in my diet, which involves the soft drinks, the sugary juices, and also the sauces too. I actually got into a regime, or should I say I developed a habit where I kind of monitored the amount of carbohydrates that I was actually putting into my system. Now, I didn't obsess about it, or I didn't even write things down, each and every food that I ate. However, I did consciously keep note of how much bread and how much pasta I would eat daily. And so it took me about, say, 3 to 4 months to begin to shed that weight and to see those results. And in about 6 to 7 months time, I had shed all of that weight completely, which was really amazing. So on top of this, I know it may sound like a no-brainer, but be sure to stay away from fast food, as you know, I find that this really kills my energy levels, and especially if I'm engaging in a social activity. Okay, and the next point that I want to make in relation to tiredness is to be sure to get plenty of rest for a few days in a row beforehand, so that you see the rest accumulates before you go out. Now, say for instance, you know, you might have to wake up really early on say a Friday morning for a work event, but you badly you want to go out in the evening. So what I would suggest is to get into a string of very early nights throughout the week, so that your rest kind of accumulates, and so that you won't feel tired in that evening when you go out. Now, you'll be surprised, as the rest does actually accumulate, and it really does make a difference, you know, when you have to stay up late on that Friday night. And this could actually be your make or your break when you're interacting with a chick that you actually like. So you have to be disciplined with yourself in order to get those early nights. Get your ass to bed early. I mean, look, sometimes I hear people say that you know, they just get so tired from work by the end of the week, and you know, they can't be asked to go out. Now, I never really understood that, because guys, if you were really keen to go out, and if you were really motivated to meet those beautiful women, then you would do whatever it took to get the rest, as well as to get it beforehand. No, but seriously, if you get enough rest, and if you carefully watch your diet, and if you carefully construct your diet, you shouldn't be tired by the end of the week. That is just an excuse. I think in general though, you should learn to be more aware of your energy levels and what really impacts them. Some people feel really low in energy after they've had a lot of sugar in their diet. Now, strangely enough, I found that for myself, that if I drink too many cups of coffee very early in the morning, I kind of experience a low point later on at night, and that really affected me in a few interactions in the past. Now, so to prevent this from actually happening, I would simply steer clear of coffee, say until later on in the afternoon, or even in the evening time. Okay, and aside from your dietary requirements, I would also highly recommend that you go out with someone who's really energized and who you find has a really good energy. If, for instance, you know, you meet up with, say, your friend and he feels tired on that day, is it really a good idea to be out with them? And especially if that becomes a recurring theme. I mean, honestly, sometimes you have to be selfish about these very things, and be selfish about your goals so that you can prioritize your goals over anything else. You know, and this will allow you to become much more selfless in the future. So definitely think about gravitating around those guys who can cope with less sleep and who can cope with that tiredness. Now, there will be a point in the future when you're going to be able to motivate these lower energy guys. So, you know, I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. Okay, and the holy grail of getting over your tiredness is fundamentally just go out more often. Because look, if you're just starting off in this stuff, and if you're starting off in cold approach, you will naturally have a greater amount of anxiety when it comes to going out. And so look, any tiredness that you do feel will be an extra excuse for you just not to be out. Now, it's really just your anxiety telling you not to do it. However, if you go out more often, the beauty is that you'll get so used to the whole activity of approaching girls, and you'll be much more able to disregard that tiredness completely. So definitely make the effort to go out more often. And look, I'm not saying that, look, you don't have to go out 7 nights in a week, not quite, but do make the effort to go out when it matters, such as on those weekend nights, and basically from Thursday all the way onwards. So when you do go out more often, everything will just feel so much easier, and the weight will just be lifted right off of your shoulders. Now, we may struggle in this because we procrastinate in an activity for far too long, and it takes so much more initial momentum to get us going. So don't let this happen to you, and keep that momentum going. Now guys, you have to realize that our anxieties derive from how we view ourselves and are based on what we believe about ourselves. So really, it is confidence related. Now, sometimes we might have thoughts that, you know, we're not good enough, or we think that we can't do it, which that will naturally increase your anxiety in situations when you're feeling tired. But the truth is that you are good enough, and you can do it, and everyone deserves the best. Now, you have unique characters that will attract someone to you the more that you approach people. So do make an effort to work on yourself, and work on your self-esteem, and also on your self-worth. So in a scenario such as this, I would therefore recommend taking up my Supreme Confidence course. Now, this is an 8-week program where we will look at your negative thoughts, and we will look at your limiting beliefs together. So we will work together to discover new empowering beliefs that are much more useful for you in dating. So guys, if you'd like to find out more about the program, then do go ahead and click on the link in the video's description right down below, and you can also click on the card right above too. Anyway, that's all from me today, and in case you missed it at the start of the video, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and my Facebook pages, as I post regular dating and confidence related content on there too. And you can find the handles to these social media pages on the screen right here. So I do hope you liked the video today, and there'll be many more Infield videos to come from myself and from the rest of the gang here. So today you were joined by none other than Iain Myles, and I shall see you next time.